Katoa hau ki te mihi ki a koutou, mai te whenua o te hukapapa me te hukarere, ara, mai otipoti me te rohi o Araituru. He rohi tino ronganui nai nei, mo te tua me te kaha, o tōna kapa whataporo karawhia nā Highlanders, ara. Tirohia ki oku kākahu. Te whero me te pango. Ko tēnā he tino angitu Māori mō te kai whakaako Jamie Joseph no te whānau makatanara o te Wairo. Mōna tukawhitu tāne ingoatia he kapa pango Māori I tēnei tō. Ara, ka kōtiti o ahau, pia. Ko te tapua e unuku te maunga, ko waio kaua te awa, ko katikuri me kati rua hiki nā hapu, ko nā iwi, ko Naitahu me Rangatani, me hui te rangi, Swiss. Ko Katharina Ruckstuhl, tōko ingoa, no te whariwānanga o Otago. He tino pā reka ki te tū, ki te kōrero ki a koutou, e pāna ki tēnei kaupapa whakatōpūtia te ako, reflecting on Māori success. So, and reflecting on Sasha's kōrero, in some ways our two kohau are complementary to each other, and we have inadvertently touched some of the same points, but and as you heard in my mihi, I was a little late because of the hukarere and the hukapapa this morning, but I understand that the theme has been very well set, so I'm mihi to our kai kōrero I mui ia hau. So I begin this kōrero reflecting on the recent Highlanders win last weekend, and the fact that actually that was a great success for Māori, because apart from my whanaunga Jamie Joseph, who's from the Wairau, from Rangitane, being the coach, also 7 Māori All Blacks named this year, and this is in White Otago. I'll reflect on this. Now this is a success because, and where is the clicky thing, sorry. Whoops. This is a success because 2 years ago the Highlanders were second to last in the competition, and so there were, the news media has been saying, oh, Jamie Joseph, he's gone from zero to hero. And I guess for some iwi it feels a little bit like that too. And they'd spent a lot of money 2 years ago on bringing in some pretty high profile players. So what does Jamie do? Well, he executes a different type of a plan, doesn't he? Perhaps it wasn't exactly in the rule book, but pauri noa ki roka I marama ana araro, He could see that there was an opportunity. He could see the light below, and that it involves recruiting those who couldn't get any play time with the other franchises, but they wanted to be part of something called the Highlanders culture. So what is this culture? Well, even though he's my cousin and actually my neighbour, I can't tell you what goes on inside that rugby strategy. But what I could say is that there have been some cultural changes, and I've chosen this particular photograph deliberately because, as you can see on the backs of those players, apart from Panasonic, there is the University of Otago there. And this is a bit of a radical departure for the conservative ivory tower bastion of Western culture. So what does it mean when a university sponsors a rugby team, and particularly a rugby team that's got a lot of Māori players in it, and Pacifica boys? Well, is it just a shameless marketing ploy? And yeah, of course it is. It is a shameless marketing ploy. But notice I am wearing red and black today. But I guess it also says something about the changing values of universities and the tertiary sector in this country, and the need for meaningful engagement with community. And of course, that also applies to Māori, but not as community, as tangata whenua, and there is a difference. So before clarifying this tertiary sector tangata whenua nexus, I just want to elaborate on the whakatauki. And it is from one of our Ngāi Tahu tupuna, Maru Kaitatia, who was someone who seized an opportunity. So during Kati Kuri's move south from the Wairarapa to the Kaikoura region, his father, Pūrahanui, was killed. And so Maru Kaitatia took over from his father and eventually claimed mana whenua status over the Kaikoura Peninsula and over the Kati Māmoe who occupied the Takahanga Pā. Now, it is recounted that he was able to achieve Ngāi Tahu dominion over Ngāti Māmoe by being challenged to eat from a poha, which contained the first fruits of the season. So tapu was this poha that only one who was of the very highest rank would be able to survive and would thus be granted dominion. So Maru Kaitatia ate of the poha, and it sounds a bit like an Adam and Eve situation. You know, if you eat the poha, will you be cast out? No, indeed he was not. He claimed mana whenua for Kati Kuri and for Ngāi Tahu. And this is an event remembered amongst Ngāi Tahu as Te Poha or Tohu Raumati. So the whakatauki itself, though, is from an earlier time, at the start when Kati Kuri were moving down through the east coast and through Kahanunu lands. And indebted to one of our Ngāi Tahu scholars, Tahu Pōtiki, for the following research. So, Maru Kaitatia was captured by Kati Kahanunu and then put on a full military display they put on this display to encourage Kati Kuri not to fight them, okay, because they were so good at fighting. So the whole whakatauki is as follows. Ka nui te pata āwha, mā ku katoa te whenua, tēnā ko te nui takata ko tahi waiwai hei hikoi ki mua, ko tahi waiwai hei hikoi ki muri, no te mea pauri noa ki ruka e marama ana araro. And so what you can see here on the left hand, my left hand, your right hand side is a translation of the entire whakatauki. And what it is saying is that when a great body moves together, if you only look at the top, they seem to be so tightly drawn together. But when you look down between their legs, you can see these little chinks of light, okay? You can see what it is that they're doing. So Maru could see the gaps in Kahanunu's military strategy, and he could see the opportunities for Kati Kuri to avert what Kahanunu had in store for Kati Kuri. He could see that they could be beaten. So this is a whakatauki that seems rather abstract, right? So it's a particular to a particular person at a particular time and in relation to a particular event, a battle. However, what I like about this whakatauki, and the reason that I've chosen it, is its surprise, because from a Western perspective, doesn't light normally come from above? So you think sun, moon, stars, lamps, lights. We think of light as above us. This focuses on the light is coming from below. And so when you're so used to a particular paradigm of thinking about the world, you're either puzzled by when someone presents something different to you, or delighted, or in some cases really hacked off, very angry. When you are being asked to see and consider something that is so different, and particularly a paradigm that is from people that aren't us, from somebody else. Pauri noa ki ruka, e marama ana araro. Where does the light come from when it comes from below? So, in reflecting on this whakatauki and what Māori success means from a Ngāi Tahu perspective, I guess I can only think back to before our treaty settlement to now. And maybe for those of, it was a bit of a darkness above because of the inability for Ngāi Tahu and Rangitani and other iwi to have recognised that there are other ways of being, of organising themselves, of aspiring, that do not and did not fit into the predominant paradigm of that time, which was colonialism, and now some people would say what we're in is a period of settler colonialism. And the light below, I guess, has come from our iwi leaders and from the treaty settlements, from those tupuna now past, and now those who are now living legends, some of whom you've heard from today and you will hear from tomorrow. And Sasha's mentioned Tā Tipene, and of course there is there at the reading. And I've got up here just a selection of some of those who came before, including one of my tupuna, Hariata Pitene Morero, who is a descendant of Marukai Tātia from Kaikoura. When that photo was taken, she was very strict in saying, I won't have a photo taken in Western clothing, I must be as Māori. And so these are our leaders who accepted the challenge, like Marukai Tātia accepted his leadership role, to drive Ngāi Tahu's Te Karemi, as it became known, and to bring about a settlement with the Crown. So you might say peace has broken out, and I guess that's the point that Sasha was making. And so the fruits of that journey, as Sasha alluded to, have been in the respect and mana shown to Ngāi Tahu, but also to other tribal groups, and one just settled yesterday in Taranaki, so kia ora ki a koutou, mai Taranaki. Within many sectors of society, so in the tertiary sector, we have Ngāi Tahu now in positions of governance and management, and we've got Te Tapuaia Rehua, which is a joint share company. So mihi to Eruera, who's this, can I say this, just been named as the CEO. The health, he's named there as the acting, well now he's been named as the CEO, so I hope that's okay. We've got people in the health sector, people that sit on district health boards. Ngāi Tahu is always in the financial sector with our tourism or our whenua, or our seafood or our passive investments. So we're often, Ngāi Tahu is asked for its opinion, and we get to go to meet princes and queens and all sorts of important people. So, there's this huge respect for Ngāi Tahu, as well as other communities within your own rohe. And as our bank balance has grown, so has respect, but more so after the rūwhenua, I think, because it's not just about the money, it's about the mana and how you conduct yourself. So I think from that point of view, we seem to be in a type of nirvana, a type of Eden. So all of this is well and good. However, in the words of one of the architects of our treaty settlement in relation to the Ngāi Tahu whakatauki, mō tātou mō ka uria muriaki nei, what does it all mean? What does it all mean now? And Sasha has told us a little bit about what she thinks it means. And so now I'm feeling like I'm channeling Tā Tipene, which is something I would never have thought that I did, but maybe there's something about our Ngāi Tahu intellectual thinkers that makes us reflect. And so I think what Tā Tipene is pointing out here, he's pointing to the chinks within the organisational forms and strategies that our iwi has developed. So like Marukai Tātia, he is appraising what appears to be an overwhelmingly successful organisational machine that looks like it's going in an unstoppable direction. He is saying, and now this is an act of interpretation, beware complacency. Beware making easy assumptions. What you view as success because it fitted a particular point in time does not mean that it holds true forever. We need to reassess, we need to question, and we need to redirect. So in Tā Tipene's case here, he's looking at the economic imperatives that drive Ngāi Tahu. But I guess his observation can apply to any iwi, or indeed any aspect of organisational development and the relationship of tribes to their people and tribes to their communities, including the tertiary sector. So one of the burning questions that we have as Ngāi Tahu, and I guess it applies to other people as well, is, well, who are these people after us? And if one is to look at the media, then that's not an easy question to answer because they look like this. Poyonce. That's pretty awesome. And they also look like this. And they live on the Gold Coast. And they look like this. So we've got this very diverse generation, and some of them don't look that Māori, and indeed in Find Me a Māori Bride, some of the non-Māori are more Māori than the Māori. So beyond whakapapa, what does it mean for Māori to connect and to be connected to their iwi and to benefit from their settlement? So I guess this is what Tā Tipene is asking us to think about. This is the big question, and this is something that a tertiary education does, ask the big question. So, however, one of the things that I think that tertiary sector can and must do is engage with iwi and wider society to give relevance and context to the posing and answering of such questions. Who do tribal settlements benefit? How do we share the goods that flow from such settlement? Who are they for? How should they be distributed? What does it mean about Māori roles within community and wider society? Tipene talks about Indigenous minorities becoming the autonomous managers of their own futures, and that Indigenous governance needs to be congruent with the aims and aspirations of the culture to which it belongs and directed ultimately to the survival and continuing evolution of that culture. Now, he was in no way referring to the situation that is unfolding before our very eyes in Greece. And last weekend, it was pretty momentous for the Greeks too, as it was for Otago people, but in a different way, because they voted overwhelmingly no to being told that you are going to have to do this by Europe. So they have refused a particular type of governance arrangement being foisted on them. So where's this all going to lead? We don't know. But it will have an effect on New Zealand as well. So we are not immune from these things. So I call this slide post-political, and I'm an academic, right? So you've got to have a little bit of theory. So post-political theory is a body of thought that says that we, in liberal democracies like New Zealand or the EU or the US or Australia, we become a little bit complacent with the way that things are. We accept that how the world is politically, economically, socially is how it should be. And this is because we can't imagine how it might be. Post-political thinking says that we have come to a grand consensus about what politics is. And it is about managing things, particularly disagreeable things, sensibly and within agreed rules of the game. So if you're not going to play within the rules of the game, well, you're an idiot. Or worse still, who are you? You don't have a voice. So I think one of the strengths and successes of iwi through treaty settlements has been to force governments to listen, to present alternative futures, and to tirelessly keep governments to account. However, there is always the tension that by being settled, iwi may too slide into the post-political coziness of building partnerships with the Crown that manage problems and dissent in a way that we end up creating another set of voiceless, except this time they're our own. And when that happens, well, the Greek situation points to some very unforeseen consequences. So I think that what Tā Tipene and post-political thinking sheds light on is beware complacency. Beware intellectual coziness. Beware too much consensus. That's the darkness above. So, to end this reflection upon maru kaitatia, because indeed this is really what it is, one of the key roles for those of us who are Māori within the tertiary sector is to keep probing, to keep interrogating, to point out the changing context, to suggest new ways of doing things, to formulate alternative futures, to not be afraid to question certainty, even our own, and to make sure that we translate this back to our people. Theory and practice, hand and head, observing backwards, moving forwards. This is the theory of success maru kai tātia, pauri noa ki roka, e marama ana araro. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.